How's it going, everyone? We have really bad weather conditions right now, and today's sole purpose was to come out and test the Topwater PDL's ability to perform out here in open water. This is inshore fishing that I will attempt to do, and we have sustained winds 18 miles an hour from the northeast. So until I get to the fishing grounds, which is about another 1.5 miles away, I'm gonna have to battle out these swells, the chop. It's pretty nasty. There's nothing to protect myself from the open water, so let's see how she does. We have about 6 inches to like maybe about a foot swells that have built up because of the high winds. They're hitting the kayak broadside, and whenever they do, the water is crashing over into the kayak, but that's to be expected because these conditions, they're not your everyday stuff that you're going to come out here and fish in. What I am anxious to see because of this is how much water is going to go inside this bad boy. Now that hatch, I love the way it's designed because it's got like a, I don't know if it's a silicone, but some type of rubbery flap that closes itself around the lip of the hatch itself. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Now because of swells like that, I had a set of 3 of them. There again, there's nothing blocking the wind from being able to do its thing and create these about 6 inch to around 1 foot swells in the bay. So the kayak's handling it pretty good. When we first started, I was feeling kind of sketchy because I'm sitting so high up. What I would like to see Old Town do with the whenever they redo this kayak, and hopefully they do this, they provide you some type of solution with being able to raise and lower the seat. Right now you're just stationary and it's high up. I absolutely love that because it's easy to get in and out of the seat whenever you want to stand and fish. But for conditions like this, again, this is the extreme side. Nobody's really going to come out here. I'd be hard pressed to see a kayaker out here. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen anybody today, but the center of gravity, it has a lot to do with your confidence, the way you're going to feel whenever you're cruising and stuff like this. So right now, I'm kind of like tipping as each swell hits me broadside or from the starboard side. It would just be nice to be a little bit lower so that I don't tip too much. But because of the extreme stability that this little 10-footer has, I've gained a little bit of confidence. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall out or anything like that. When you feel yourself tipping towards the port side, the left side for you landlubbers, just lean into that swell and then just counterbalance it as you level out. I do want to note that when I installed the paddle holder right here, I don't know if y'all can see that, but I kind of knew that it was going to do a really good job at keeping this bad boy on the kayak and making sure that it was going to be secure. And these waves, they have tried to push it out of place, but it just snaps right back into where it's supposed to be. That is a plus on Old Town's part. It's good to know that your kayak is, your paddle is not going to leave you whenever you're trying to concentrate and battle all these swells, the rough chop. The fact that a kayak company pays that much attention to you not losing your paddle is a plus in my book. All right, there we go. This is much more manageable. A slight little water chop. There's no more white caps. That's all behind us. This is a little bit more like it. So we've made it into the actual marsh and we just have a slight water chop now. The grass, it's about 2 foot tall, 2.5, and it's protecting us from that wind. One thing that I want you all to know is that I do these videos purely for informational reasons because my core audience, the people who watch the show day in and day out, every time I drop a video, they want to know what this kayak is able to handle, how it performs in certain conditions. So that's why I do this. We're at the first drain, so let's make a cast. Wind is kind of blowing me slowly. Another thing that I would like to see from Old Town is the ability to have access to the rear tank well, because I want to try and see if I can mount a power pole to this thing. So here I made my way back out to the open water in order to go to a second entrance into the marsh. It's about like a half mile away, but taking a look at that water chop, I mean, it is still really nasty stuff, and by looking at the speed at which I'm now pedaling, you can see the confidence that I have now built up in the kayak, and I no longer feel like if I'm going to tip over or roll over whenever one of those swells hits me broadside. There's been a lot of water going in and out of that kayak, especially over on top of the gunnels, but it's a little beast. That thing took it in stride, and I'm just completely confident now, which is a good thing, because when you have confidence in the platform that you're using and you're not going to roll, there's no more taking a look at the horizon. It's not bobbing back and forth left to right, because I'm not trying to compensate for the swells that are actually coming in at me. We've made it to the second mouth of this marsh system. Yeah, wow. I mean, y'all can tell by the paddle as it goes down, boom, it's hitting. And we're drafting through this, well, mainly because the drive is up right now, but the last experience I had, man, that wind was just blowing me all over the place. This time, I'm not doing so bad. I'm actually liking it. I thought it was going to be horrible trying to get through this, but no, pleasantly surprised. So what I was saying before the battery died was that one thing that I noticed was these scuppers right here, the plugs. I think it's like a one-way valve. I'm gonna have to check that out whenever I get home. I'll get online and see what it is that they plug these scupper holes with. I just wanted to come out and test the kayak on how it did in rough, like somewhat rough conditions. So I think I just found my answer. It does really well. I'm pleasantly surprised to let you all know that it's handled everything like a champ. All right, I've got to stop this video because I got to put the hat back on to keep my head warm. But if you enjoyed the video, click that thumbs up button. And until next time, tight lines, everyone. Shoot. Holy cow. You almost got me. I have cat-like reflexes. Stupid water. Alright, fellas. I am soaked. I'm waterlogged. My jacket is not waterproof. I left the shell inside the truck. That's the waterproof. But man, this thing is just taking it in stride. Repeatedly being battered, one swell after another, going over the bow, and I have no loss of control whatsoever. Little tank that could, little engine that could, and man, I am very impressed. Just cruising my way on back in. All right. I'm telling you what, this hatch. So there it is. There's the water. Let's push it out into the water so that I can sit on the bow, and if there's anything back there, it's gonna ride forward. All right, here we go. All right, the rear end is pretty much out of the water. Everything should drain forward, and That's probably like half a cup of water right there. I launched at about 7 and it's now, I don't know what time it is. What, like I'd venture to say 3 o'clock. Somebody hit me up with the time. From 7 to 12, 5 hours, 6, 7. Man, I've been 8 hours out here. It doesn't even seem like it. It is extremely dry. Old Town did a really good job with the way they made this hatch right here. You'd have to physically see it. Let me turn the camera back around. It's got this little rubber lip and this right here, and that rubber lip connects right up into there. So it's not airtight, but man, it's tight nonetheless.